Now, all through this course, we have been learning that what are the basic strategies to follow in design to deal with variations. We have all in the beginning lectures, we've be avoided, or sorry, requirements change cannot be avoided, and therefore procedural languages or procedural paradigm is not effective in handling changing requirements, and therefore how we have to do it, we have to learn to handle requirements, and therefore this can be done by the object orientation methodology. And saw that how it delegates responsibility, how it encapsulates, and how it is able to handle variations or changing requirements. So all this is because of there is a variations in requirements as time goes by, and that we have learned it in software engineering course also, and again we have stressed in this course of design patterns that changing requirements is a truth which we have to live with, and we have to try to handle it. So how do we do it? We have the help of design patterns. Basically, design patterns evolved just because of this problem of handling changing requirements. Okay, and how did they do it? They have simple two mandates, two guiding foundation principles. They will, whatever varies, they encapsulate it, and they hide it from the rest of the code, or they keep the rest of the code aloof, so that in future whenever there is a change in requirement, there is only one portion of the entire code which needs to be touched and which need to be redone in spite of the not the entire code. And they favor aggregation over inheritance, and that we have seen them. That why do we favor aggregation over inheritance? Because inheritance works to a certain extent, but after a certain extent all inheritance hierarchies uh, are more of a disadvantage rather than an advantage. So this is how design patterns help. They will vary, they will capture whatever is varying, they encapsulate it, and they keep it aloof from the rest of the code. Now, all right. So before the advent of the design patterns, or before the introduction of design patterns into the object-oriented design, developers often relied on extensive inheritance. We also do that. We also did that in software engineering when we were making our use case diagrams, and when we were doing our class diagrams, and other kinds of modeling. So whenever you in your practical files also, you were handling variations through the inheritance hierarchy. So that is a very normal and a common tendency and inherent nature to handle variations through inheritance hierarchies. So, but we see that it's not an advisable strategy. So what we do is we try to use aggregation wherever possible over inheritance. So we will not do away with inheritance, but we will use inheritance rightly instead of abusing it or using it everywhere. So what it is the intent is why we do like this is we want that variations in independent classes are handled or contained in themselves. So इंडिपेंडेंट यूनिट्स हम बना देंगे और वो अपने अंदर अपनी वेरिएशंस को हैंडल करेंगे एंड दे विल गेट related to each other. Okay, and then we will relate these abstract classes through aggregation. So हम एक तरह से कुछ we'll make what you can say, we will make some modules, or we will make modules को तो procedural language में ना करके यहाँ पे we will make some blocks which will have abstract classes and concrete classes. We will have inheritance in them and let them vary independently. Variations we will separate. Then we will have another block we will have which will handle its variations independently, and then we will make them both use each other through the concept of aggregation. So here we are using inheritance, but we are using it to a smaller extent and rightly, and not abusing it totally. कि बिल्कुल inheritance hierarchy से बनाते चले जा रहे हैं. ठीक है? So let us follow this process for the rectangle drawing problem. So first of all, we will identify what is varying. Now, what is varying in our case? In our case, there are two things which are varying: the shapes and the drawing programs. So we represent. We'll do it like this. We will have two things which are varying. We will have two abstract classes for them. तो हमारे दो वेरिएशन हैं, एक तो ये एब्स्ट्रैक्शन का वेरिएशन है और ये इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का जो ड्राइंग प्रोग्राम का वेरिएशन है. So we have two types of variation in our case. Now, how to represent these specific variations? Now, for the shapes, we have rectangles and circles, and we drawing programs. We have a program that is based on DP1 and the other one which is based on DP2. So that is the variations which we are having in our case in terms of abstraction and in terms of the implementation. Now let us represent the variations like this. That's what we have done. We have put a shape and we have a drawing and we have concrete classes, rectangle and circle, and two concrete classes, V1 drawing and V2 drawing based on DP1 and DP2. Now, given these two sets of classes, now we need to ask how they will relate to each other. तो हमने variations को independently दो inheritance hierarchies में divide कर दिया. Now, what we do is we are now trying to relate these two sets of classes so that we can control inheritance and handle variations. So now there could be two possibilities. Either the shape uses the drawing program or the drawing program uses the shape. Now, if we let drawing program use shape, then we will have to know something about the shapes. Drawing program को shapes के बारे में पता होना चाहिए. What they are, what they look like, what are the coordinates. Now this violates a fundamental principle of objects. Now an object should only be responsible for itself. So this is not a very nice solution. Now it also violates encapsulations because drawing objects would have to know specific information about shapes, kind of shapes, and there will be encapsulation will be violated in this case. Let us consider the other case, the first one. I have shapes which use the drawing objects. Now, shapes would need what type of drawing object they use because they could have shapes refer to the drawing class. So we could have a drawing class and drawing class itself takes care of whether it is the DP1 or DP2. And shapes will also be responsible for controlling the drawing. So यहाँ पे कुछ हमने diverge नहीं करे details and every object is responsible for itself when we let shape use the drawing object. So this is a more better solution than drawing using the shape class. So this is what we do. We let shape contain the drawing class. So we build up a aggregation between the shape and the drawing class. We have inheritance hierarchies. These are variations. So we have handled the variations independently and let the other class use the first class use the second class. Is that clear? Yes. Yes, is that clear? How we are building the bridge pattern? This is the concept of bridge pattern. Yes.
Yes, sir.
चलो आगे चले. तो यही बना दिया हमने. ये हमने इसको और एलैबोरेट कर दिया. तो ये हमारा ब्रिज पैटर्न बन गया. यहाँ हमने एब्स्ट्रैक्शन के वेरिएशंस को हैंडल करा, यहाँ हमने इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के वेरिएशंस को हैंडल किया और let the first class use the second class. We draw a aggregation between these two classes. Done. This is what is a bridge pattern. So we are handling variations of abstraction separately, handling variations of implementation separately, and both of them, one class uses the other class. So this is how this is a class diagram illustrating the separation of abstraction and implementation. तो यहाँ भी inheritance होगी, यहाँ भी variations are handled by inheritance, but we are avoiding class explosion here. We are exploring the class explosion here. The classes will vary, but linear in both the cases. So this is what it happens. We are only having three objects now. We are having a shape object, we are having a drawing object, and we are having a DP1 or DP2 object. So shape object could be a rectangle, circle, and the client doesn't know that what it is. For the client, it's only a shape object. Now, drawing object is actually V1 drawing or V2 drawing. Okay. Now for the shape also, it will both look the same. You know, V1 drawing of this thing. Now this must be the correct type of the object. Okay. So the drawing object will know that which it is, either DP1 or DP2. So therefore, what we have done is basically we have isolated abstractions from the implementations. So we could have any number of implementations, any number of variations in abstractions, and we are isolating the code outside client from the shape object also and from the drawing object also. All right. So, So that is how we have done here. We could have either a DP1 or DP2, which V1 drawing or V2 drawing is. So from even from this uh, circle and rectangle, it is isolated. That which program it is being used. So basically, it is the drawing object which knows that whether it is using the DP1 or DP2 object. So the bridge pattern is, this is what is a bridge pattern. It's, let's us see that. Okay, it lets us separate the variations from the of the implementations and the abstractions. So we have contained the variations in separate class hierarchy. So the hierarchy on the left side contains the variations in the abstraction, and the hierarchy on the right side contains the variations in how we implement those abstractions. There could be n number of programs or ways we could be implementing it, those abstractions on the left hand side. So that's how we have used, this is what is a bridge pattern, and then we let the one class of hierarchies use, or one abstract class contain the another abstract class, which basically, or one hierarchy contain the another abstract, another hierarchy. Is that clear? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the bridge pattern. So okay, now what is तो अभी हमारे कितने 7 8 9 फ्रैटन्स हो गए. Now again, as I was telling the other group also, the main focus now is on the designing unit. So that is why, see, patterns. So we will now, you have seen that there can be innumerable patterns, in software engineering in other domains also, and but the mandate for the design patterns is the same. They will handle variations, they will encapsulate them, and they will favor aggregation over inheritance. So that remains the standard throughout. Now, so what is now my interest, and or I would like to focus, is that you people concentrate more on the designing part. So that is why I will give more importance to the assignment on the case study, because see, as आप जितना आपका रहेगा months रहेंगे, I will be keeping on taking one and one design pattern regularly. But as we are seeing that there can be innumerable design patterns, so it is not, there is no limit to learning how many design patterns. Now the more important thing is that you must have hands-on experience on the designing, so that purpose will be served by that design assignment. So I want you to play more, uh, give it more time, give it more focus, and therefore, because see, now the case studies have been almost, I have approved the case studies of all of you. So I want you to upload the design patterns and upload whatever guidelines I had given you for the case study, so that it is not always necessary that in the first version we will get the best object oriented design. So I want to do more of interaction on the design assignment actually, क्योंकि इस तरीके से तो पैटर्न्स हम पढ़ते ही जाएंगे और जितना होगा हम पढ़ते जाएंगे, बट देन that will not give you the feel of the role of patterns in the design, object oriented design. That will only come when you will do an object oriented design yourself, and that is what is the purpose of my purpose of giving you that case study assignment. So therefore, I'll advise you that I think today is the last date for submission of that assignment also, and so I will go through your assignments. And you need not upload the entire object-oriented design of the entire case study, because that will be too lengthy and that is not also required. I would just require that you give me the you upload your case study, and along with that, which is approved and which has been modified after my comments, and along with that you upload the class diagram of the design patterns, and you give me the explanation how your design patterns are handling the variations. Now this will followed by the Java code of your design patterns. So that will complete the whole sequence, that will complete the whole sequence of the role of design patterns in object-oriented design, starting from the problem statement case studies and identifying the variations and handling those variations with design patterns, and then how those design patterns are handling what kind of variations. So that all you should tell me, because if you are able to identify that, then the purpose of the course is is satisfied, you know, it has been achieved. तो वही अब मेरा आपका साथ रहेगा कि अब जो है आप लोग ज़्यादा जो है उसको उसी के ऊपर अब हम लोग इंटरेक्शन करेंगे on your object oriented design assignment. And in the meantime, I'll be discussing patterns, the more important patterns. जो भी मुझे ठीक लगेगा मैं करती जाऊंगी एक एक करके, आप लोग खुद भी देख सकते हो. But now since you have the basic knowledge about the patterns, you know, even when reading any pattern you can understand that what kind of a variation and how it is handling it in the real life scenario, that you can identify it, because now you have the uh, basic knowledge, you know, about the design pattern, so you can identify that what a design pattern is doing and how it is doing it. Is that okay? Yes.
Ma'am, do we have to submit the Java code of the patterns that we're using?
Yeah, I want you to do that also. लेकिन अभी रुक जाओ, अभी मैं ऐसा करते हैं, अभी आप सिर्फ अभी मत, वो नेक्स्ट स्टेप में एक बार आपकी पहले केस स्टडी को मैं अब आप लोग अपलोड करोगे, मैं उसको एक बार अच्छे से देख लूँ, और फिर उसके बाद जब हम पैटर्न्स, जब हम इसको फ्रीज कर देंगे, फिर आप उसके बाद आई विल आस्क यू टू, वी हैव टाइम, यू नो, वी हैव वन मोर मंथ टू गो, सो फिर यू विल राइट द जावा कोड, बिकॉज दैट विल कंप्लीट द होल सीक्वेंस. वो पूरी आपकी एंड टू एंड जो है एक सीक्वेंस हो जाएगी डिजाइन पैटर्न्स को लेकर. पहले केस स्टडी, देन आइसोलेशन ऑफ requirement variations, encapsulation using design patterns, and then implementation using Java. So that वो पूरी कड़ी जो है पूरी हो जाएगी. तो वो मैं नेक्स्ट स्टेप में करूँगी. पहले एक बार मैं आपकी केस स्टडीज पढ़ लूँ, आपको मैं फीडबैक दे दूँ, आपको आप फ्रीज कर लो अपने पैटर्न्स को और इसको पैटर्न्स को फ्रीज करो, फिर उसके बाद हम भी करेंगे उसकी जावा. ठीक है? और ये अभी क्या है, हमारे पास टाइम तो है क्योंकि अब अभी 4 दिसंबर तक है ये सेमेस्टर, नहीं तो 1 महीना तो है ही, कहीं नहीं गया. तो वी विल डू दैट. सो क्योंकि आज आपका लास्ट डेट है उसका सबमिशन का, तो मैं कल से आपका पढ़ना शुरू कर सकती हूँ. और वहाँ तो मैं देख रही हूँ किसी ने भी रिसर्च पेपर तो किसी ने भी अपलोड नहीं किया है, तो अब उस पर मैं आप लोगों को ज़बरदस्ती भी नहीं करूँगी, बिकॉज अब मैंने आपको थोड़ा सा फ्लेयर तो हर किसी को दे ही दिया है कि रिसर्च पेपर कैसे लिखा जाता है. Now it is up to you, you know, because I cannot force you to do that. That is out of interest. Some of you who might be wanting to go for higher academic studies, so उनको ये जरूर फायदा करेगा कि if you have a research article published, so that is out of your choice, you know. But anybody who is interested and who is uploaded, I will definitely go through it and give my contributions and my suggestions, so we can always frame a good research paper. So that I will not force you to do it because it is out of the course curriculum. So वो अब हर किसी की मर्जी है, जिसको अगर इंटरेस्ट है अपना कुछ प्रोफाइल को इम्प्रूव करने का और पेपर लिखने का, तो आई एम देयर टू हेल्प यू, बिकॉज गाइडेंस भी तो नहीं मिलती है हर किसी. रिसर्च पेपर लिखने की गाइडेंस आपको कहाँ से मिलेगी? सपोज समडे यू वांट टू राइट अ रिसर्च आर्टिकल, वेयर विल यू राइट इट फ्रॉम, or how will you write it? So that support and guidance I am ready to provide, provided any of you is interested in writing a research article. तो इसीलिए मैंने उसके लिए एक अलग असाइनमेंट क्रिएट कर दी है. बाकी हर किसी को अब फ्लेयर आ गया है कि कैसे रिसर्च आर्टिकल लिखा जाता है. Or now anybody who wants to take it up further can load their drafts in that assignment, and I will readily give my contributions and suggestions, and we can frame a research paper. And you already have one more semester to go. आपका जून तक ही है, तो we have plenty of time, you know. तो हम एक पेपर फॉर्मुलेट करके उसको किसी जर्नल या कॉन्फ्रेंस में हम डाल, बट दैट इज ऑल अप टू यू. आई नॉट फोर्स एनीबडी. हाँ, ये जो ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड डिजाइन के असाइनमेंट